What a show. That, ladies and gentlemen, that's how you do a pay-per-view. Excuse me, that's how you do a PLE. That is how you do a SummerSlam. Excitement all across social media for the return of your tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Put your fingers up in the air and let me see ya acknowledge him. One good time. One good time, man. I love it. I love it. Roman came out and finally, after what feels like 10 years of fighting, scratching, clawing to get an organic babyface pop. It took this man 10 long years to finally get the fans behind him. But you did it, Roman. You did it, big man. When his music hit, I think he got a remix of his Tribal Chief music. It's not the same one. Doesn't sound like the same one. Still sounds dope. But when his music hit, 57,700 something fans, close to 60,000 people lost their minds. An epic roar for the return of Roman Reigns. Feels good. Feels good that we are finally behind Roman Reigns at one single time. He's earned it, man. He earned it. And now we have a legit storyline where fans are ready to see him whoop some candy ass. No pun intended. Solo Sikoa is just the first roadblock. We all know where this is going. This is the beginning to the build, the road to WrestleMania 41, where Roman takes on the real mind behind this new tribal chiefdom, this new ravaging bloodline, the fake bloodline, the Timu bloodline, the Wolfpack bloodline, whatever you want to call them. We all know that this is the Rock's bloodline. And Roman Reigns is eventually going to get to the Rock. I'm excited, man. I am excited for what's to come. But it's good to have Roman back. It's good to have him back. But let's not kill the lead here. SummerSlam tonight was a very good show. This felt like one of those old school SummerSlams. Nothing but storytelling. All storytelling. In terms of storytelling, taking away the match quality. Although the match quality is important, because I grade with the match quality. I grade it all as one big package. But if you take away the match quality and just look at it from a storyline standpoint, this is up there. This is up there as one of those storylines that people will go back and watch based off of the shit that took place. I think we all saw Dominic Mysterio folding for Liv Morgan as if he didn't already fold. Did anyone else think that Dom wasn't going to help Liv Morgan beat Rhea Ripley? We all saw it. We all saw it coming from a mile away. But it happened. Dom turned on his mommy and became a man. And now he's Liv's daddy. He went from being a sub to a real Dom. See what I did there? Sorry. We all saw that coming. We all predicted that Gunther, Gunther was going to be your new world champion. But very few of you predicted that Finn Balor was going to stab Damian in the back. But this guy did. Drew McIntyre continues to wreak havoc on CM Punk's life. But I can't really blame anyone else but Punk for tonight. Punk allowed his blind rage to get the best of him because he saw Seth Rollins wearing his love bracelet with AJ and Larry's name on it and just assumed that Seth was trying to screw him over. And as a result, Drew picked the bones and got the victory. This storyline is far from over, which is how I like it. Nia Jax, who was your queen of the ring, is now your new women's champ. Bayley lost the title. hey, I think it was best that she did. She wasn't doing it for me as women's champ. I don't know how she was doing it for y'all, but she wasn't doing it for me. No disrespect. And also, perhaps one of the biggest moments of the entire night. We had a title change that will live on in infamy because that son of a bitch, Logan Paul, finally got his ass handed to him in his own hometown of Cleveland, Ohio, thanks to a certain megastar with everybody saying L.A. Knight. Yeah. L.A. Knight is your new United States champion. Let me recap the new champions we just had tonight. The only people to retain their belts are Liv Morgan and Cody Rhodes. The other championships all changed hands. Of course, starting off with Friday Night SmackDown, we have new tag team champs, the Bloodline. Unfortunately, the Gorillas, ain't nobody really the Gorilla, are not your tag team champs. It's Solo Sikoa's other cohorts, Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu. Although I'm a bit concerned about Jacob Fatu's condition. After he hit that flying Samoan splash through the table, he clutched his leg and couldn't stand up. So I'm scared he might be injured. I'm praying he's not, because that would suck. But I think he's okay. I think he's fine. I'm keeping an eye on Twitter for updates, and keep me updated about that as well. If he does come out with an injury, please let me know. Break that news to me as we review the show. But as I'm looking at things right now, he's fine. Apparently, it was a stinger and he was just selling. So don't worry. We'll find out more about that later. But we have new tag team champs. We have a new world heavyweight champ, Gunther. We have a new women's champ. So that's 3 championship changes. And then we have a new U.S. title change. And I think the last one, I think we had 4. Yep. The new IC champion, Bron Breakker. Bron literally squashed Sami Zayn. I don't think I ever saw anyone beat Sami Zayn that fast. It's been a minute since Sami Zayn got his ass squashed. But Bron, nope. He ain't no bitch. He ain't no pushover. Bron Breakker squashed Sami and became your new IC champion. 5 title changes. That's incredible. That's incredible. I have no complaints about tonight's show. I thought the show overall was a success. 57,000. Every storyline went exactly how I predicted, by the way. Very proud of myself. I predicted every storyline to go the way it went. Literally every one. Might have gotten the outcomes different. Now, I predicted Bron Breakker would win the match, but I thought he would disqualify himself and get the title changed back to Sami. But he just won the match. Cool. I predicted Nia Jax to win. I predicted Gunther to win. I predicted Liv Morgan to win. I predicted Roman Reigns to come out to help Cody Rhodes retain the title. The only one I got wrong, and I don't mind saying it, I think the only match I got wrong was, let me see here. I don't think I got any match wrong. Was I right the entire time? Never mind. I think it was a perfect prediction show. So I'll give myself 1X on the Intercontinental Championship match. Because I said that I said that Bron Breakker would win, but he would get the title put back on Sami due to his bad behavior. Like he would go Ken Shamrock and the decision would be reversed. That's what I predicted. Although I did predict Bron would win. But anyways. Other than that, perfect show, perfect predictions. Proud of myself. That doesn't usually happen. We were live in the Browns Center, Browns Stadium. Of course, home of the Cleveland Browns, some football team that no one cares about. And here we are. Here we are for SummerSlam 2024 with one of the biggest crowds. One of the biggest crowds to ever attend a SummerSlam. A record was broken tonight. As I said before, 57,000. What's the exact number? The exact number was 57,791 in attendance. That's the number that WWE gave us. I don't think this is fudged. I think this is a legit number. This is counted. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Respect to them. A big crowd. WrestleMania-sized crowd, by the way. Anytime you get an event like this with that kind of a crowd, it always makes it feel special. Aspects of it. We opened up with the Women's Championship, the World Women's Championship. I believe this match was one that everyone predicted exactly how it went. Every content creator, all my fans, everyone on social media basically saw the results of this match coming. That doesn't mean it wasn't a great match, because it was. Your women's world champ, Liv Morgan, took on Rhea Ripley. As you guys know, the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour. It happened right after WrestleMania when she took out Rhea. Injured her shoulder, put her out, and she came back, Rhea came back, looking for revenge. After Liv took her championship and tried to take her Dom. Now, unfortunately, Liv is the one that came out the winner. But we didn't all know that, right, going into this match? The match itself, I can't lie to you. These two have great chemistry. They could have gone a long time. Rhea Ripley selling the shoulder. I love the way she was portraying that her shoulder was broken. Very nicely done. And then I like how, I forgot what she did at. I think she did it twice. One on the outside, one inside the ring. When she needed to use it, she would pop it back into place. She would hit it up against the announcer table and then pull it to pop it back into place. It was a great moment. And I think she did it again inside the ring. Both of them were great. Both of them were well done. Crazy bumps from Liv, by the way. Liv over here, knowing that Rhea's a big girl, had to run away from her. So the psychology of the match was very, very strong. It wasn't until Liv Morgan grabbed that steel chair that things got really interesting. Liv grabs the steel chair, goes to hit Rhea with it. Rhea, of course, blocks it, gets a handle on it, and then goes to use it on Liv. Dominic Mysterio, who came out with her, Dominic Mysterio grabs the steel chair before Rhea could use it and tells her, look, if you use the steel chair, you're not going to win the women's title, so why would you use it? Rhea's like, right, you right. We're not going to do that. So, she then goes to win the match fairly, as you would expect. But then Liv hits the Oblivion, and Rhea kicks out. The first person to kick out of the Oblivion. Probably the last at this point. Now, after Rhea kicks out, Dom slides the chair inside the ring and tries to talk to the referee, as if he's trying to help Rhea. Liv takes advantage of this, hits another Oblivion on the steel chair, and pins Rhea Ripley 1, 2, 3. Commentary saying, Dom, you goofed up. You idiot, you screwed up once again. He didn't, though. As soon as the match was over with, Dom went right over to Liv, lifted her up, and planted a big wet one right on her lips. Dominic Mysterio is no longer the sub. He is now the Dom of Liv Morgan. He is daddy for Liv Morgan. He has betrayed Rhea Ripley, and he is now, once again, the most hated son of a bitch in all of wrestling. This guy can never turn babyface. I don't think they ever want to turn him babyface. I'm at the point now where it feels like he's stuck. He's just stuck being a heel, which, you know what? I'm cool with that. I am 100% cool with Dominic Mysterio just staying heel. For real. I'm not the only person that feels that way. I am perfectly fine with him just remaining a heel and getting all this heat for now having Liv Morgan, well, not just Liv Morgan, but also all these other women chasing after him. I cannot understand for the life of me how Dom gets these women, man. But he's not little Dom anymore. He's a man. He got himself a Liv Morgan. So congratulations to Liv Morgan for retaining. I hope you guys enjoy it. Because now that the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour is complete, now begins Rhea Ripley's Destruction Tour. I cannot wait to see what they do from here. From a storytelling standpoint, this was the right decision to make. Because now Rhea Ripley gets to go on her Revenge Tour. And I don't think anyone's coming out alive. Everybody involved is dead. When Liv wanted revenge, she just wanted to take everything away from Rhea. When Rhea wants revenge, everybody pays. So enjoy life while it's high, Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio, because hell have no fury like a Rhea Ripley. Can't wait for it. Can't wait for it. I'm so excited about it. Match was great, by the way. Great match. IC Championship. Bron Breakker versus former IC champion Sami Zayn. Look, I respect what they did with Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. I wasn't a fan of him ending Gunther's reign. Really wish they would have given it to Chad Gable. Really wish that he was the one to end the reign. But I'm very happy with where they have Gable. Yeah, I'm very happy with where they have Gable. Sami, if he was going to hold the belt, at least he dropped it to someone that's going to be a good champion. I predicted that Bron Breakker would win this match. I just didn't think he would walk away with the belt. I knew he had to win. But I felt like they were going to keep it away from him just a little bit longer. They didn't. This was a 5-minute squash. Breakker beat Sami Zayn in 5 minutes. And became your new IC champ. Clean. No weapons, no interference. He ripped that title away from Sami Zayn. The 26-year-old Bron Breakker won his first title. Okay. Let's see what they do with it. Clearly they had plans for him. Wasn't expecting him to win the title this soon. But if they're giving it to him, they must really trust that he's going to do great things with it. So let's see what happens. Since he has it now, I do expect him to have a reign. I don't expect him to drop that belt anytime soon. So let's see what happens. Nothing else to say about the match. It was short. We were in and out. They gave the belt to Bron, then they dipped. Cool with me. I'm not complaining one bit. But I am curious to know how you guys feel about this. And where you expect this to go. How we feeling about Bron Breakker being your new IC champion? From there, ladies and gentlemen, we go from one title match to another title match. And this one, I've been waiting with bated breath for this match. Not just because of the match either. I want to get a little something off my chest when it comes to Logan Paul. So, earlier this week, as you guys know, the Olympics is going on. In case you don't know, in case you guys have been hiding under a rock. There was a boxing match. Yep, we're talking about it. We're going to talk about it. Let me just pre-warn you, preface this. However you feel about transgenders, however you feel about certain people, how their lifestyles are lived, how they choose to live their lifestyles, I am not here to change that opinion of yours. You are free to feel that way. But I do want to talk about what happened here with Logan Paul. There were two boxers. One in particular, and I might get her name wrong, but is it Imani Khalif? I think it's Imani Khalif. I think I say it right. Imani apparently was fighting another girl, and the match was over with in like 46 seconds. The other girl gave up. And the controversy is, Imani, people are claiming is transgender. Right? Because she has some type of a genetic XY chromosome where her testosterone levels are so high, she could be classified as a male. Although she was born female, she was raised female. But the controversy is, yes, some people are already triggered, that this is a transgender, a man, fighting in a woman's sport. And just so we're clear, ladies and gentlemen, Imani is a woman. Period. End of story. Logan Paul. And I just saw that he deleted the post, by the way. Still talking about it. Logan Paul went on his social media and literally said, men should not be fighting women. We just watched a man abuse a woman on the Olympic stage. We should all be ashamed of ourselves. And after everybody roasted him, rightfully so, this man dug in his heels and said, oopsies. I guess I didn't know she was a woman, but guess what? Genetically, she tested, and in the test, it was scientifically proven she's a man. This man got his ass roasted. Absolutely. Absolutely roasted for him. Again, you are free to feel how you want to feel. But for me, this just proves once again why people like Logan Paul just really get on my nerves. What he said was disgusting. There was no room, no way in hell he should have ever said what he said. It was just blatant, disgusting behavior on his part. And for me, it was a healthy reminder of, although Logan Paul is a great asset to WWE, he always is and will always be an ass. Period. And so I had a bit of a extra vitriol going into this match. And I wanted him to lose it very, very badly. And luckily for me, that's exactly what happened. Thank God LA Knight was able to get the victory over Logan Paul. Now Logan, of course, tried to use his regular shenanigans. He had Machine Gun Kelly out there. Got his brass knucks. Tried to use it. Well, I think he actually did use it a little bit on LA Knight. But then LA Knight countered the bootlegged buckshot lariat into the blunt force trauma? BFT. And pins on 1, 2, 3. LA Knight finally, after being over for what feels like a year and a half, this man has been one of their biggest baby faces since WrestleMania 39. And I've been waiting for them to capitalize on it. They finally capitalize on it. Finally, they capitalize on it, ladies and gentlemen, with a championship victory. Finally, LA Knight is a champion. I am so happy that we have a champion who's here. No offense to all the other part-time champs. I get that they're money. I get that having a part-time champ does, I guess, raise interest and protect that top championship. I noticed that the argument is part-time champions protect the top title and makes it more important, makes it feel more important. I get that. I personally think when you have champions like Logan Paul who hold the belt for 200 days and only defended he defended it like twice, right? That man held the belt for like 250 days and only defended it like 2 or 3 times. That's ridiculous. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I'm happy that we got the championship on someone that's here. If Logan Paul's going to be around, cool. I couldn't give any more of a shit about him than I already do. I don't give a shit about this guy. I just feel like if he's going to be around, can we not? And I mean this, can we not put the belt on him and make him a part-time champ? It's kind of ridiculous, and someone even said this. DIY had the same amount of championships defenses as Logan Paul did. And they held the belt for barely a month. Now people are telling me that Logan only held it. Are you serious? He defended it only twice? Okay. Yeah. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. 200 days, he only defended it twice. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, I'm glad Logan lost the belt. LA Knight is the new champ. And yes, it's on someone that the fans actually like. I am excited and happy for Mr. LA Knight, your new United States champion. Next up, I believe we're going to talk about the Women's Championship, ladies and gentlemen. Bayley. Bayley and Nia Jax. Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax taking on the most beloved Bayley, who won the belt at WrestleMania. Going into this match, I think you all knew I wasn't always the biggest fan of Nia Jax. Somehow, some way, she managed to turn a corner with me. She managed to turn a corner with me with her performance, with her booking. And I'll be the first one to say it. I'll be the first one to say it. She's come around. She's made massive improvements. And I'm very happy that she won the championship. The match itself, let's talk about the match. I didn't think the first half. I didn't think the first half was all that great. It wasn't terrible. It was just very average, very slow. Not much happening. Kind of reminded me of their NXT match. Because they had a match on NXT in 2015. I think NXT TakeOver London. Please remind me if that's correct or not. I think I got it right. And I thought that match was not great either. It was decent. But like that match, the first half was boring, but the last half was really, really good. Basically, that's what this was. First half was boring, but the last half was really, really good. There was a point in the match where Bayley was picking Nia Jax up off the turnbuckle for a powerbomb. And I'm thinking to myself, well, Nia is clearly going to fall on her, right? Nope. Nia doesn't fall on her. Bayley picks up Nia Jax, carries her to the center of the ring on her shoulders, and hits a massive powerbomb. Beautiful. Beautifully done. From that point forward, the match was really awesome. Of course, Tiffany Stratton does come out. We're thinking she's going to cash in. Too soon. I predicted that she was not going to cash in. And I even said, if she does cash in, it was going to be unsuccessful. But she came out to distract Bayley and allowed Nia Jax to hit her own powerbomb. And then Nia hit the Annihilator, right? Back-to-back Annihilators to pin Bayley. 1, 2, 3. Nia Jax is your new Women's World Champion. Wow. Crazy. Crazy, man. I personally feel like if this was any other time, I would have hated this call. If they would have given the belt to Nia Jax in 2018, it would have been the worst decision. They did, by the way, and it was a terrible decision. 2019, horrible decision. 2020 especially, I would have questioned WWE's, well, I wouldn't have because Vince McMahon was in charge, but that would have been a horrible call. Because she was reckless. And she was a detriment to not just the women's division, but the roster. But this Nia Jax, the way she's booked, the way she performs, the way she carries herself. I personally don't mind it. And to be fair, I wasn't a fan of Bayley and her title reign either. After Bayley got away from Damage Control, she just stopped feeling important. She just stopped feeling important. So, I guess for me, at least now, we can give her something to make her more interesting. Now that Nia Jax is your new women's champ. So where do we go from here? No idea. Apparently Tiffany Stratton, Mrs. Money in the Bank, is going to be following her around. There's that storyline. Will Tiffany cash in? It's not going to be anytime soon. In the meantime, who takes her on? Naomi? Gotta get her some wins. Jade Cargill? There's a feud in there. Remember, Nia Jax didn't beat Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill lost. She lost by DQ during the women's Queen of the Ring tournament. So we can always go back to that. Bianca can go after the title. Many things we can do. But again, I'm not hating on Bayley. I think Bayley is a great talent. I think 10 years from now, even now, people are going to look back on Bayley as one of the best female wrestlers to ever walk through a squared circle. I just feel like this particular reign was boring and it didn't do much for me. I'm just being honest with you. The next match is one that I think people were looking forward to before SummerSlam even happened. It's been a match that's been teased since Royal Rumble, since Punk got hurt. And that very next night, Drew came out and told Punk, I prayed for this to happen. Since that night, we've seen one of the best builds to a match in a long time. And this is the first of many. And if it's just as good as this one, if the future matches are anywhere close to being as good as this one, we are in for one of the best feuds in a long time. CM Punk took on Drew McIntyre one-on-one with Seth freaking Rollins as your special guest referee. This match was awesome. Punk looked great, by the way. Can we talk about the amazing shape Punk is in? At his age. What is he, 45? 46? You would think he'd be slowing down. Nah. CM Punk is still wrestling like he was in his, well, yeah, his 30s, but in his 20s. Still doing all the same moves, still selling like he sells. This match was a fucking war. Drew and Punk beat the piss out of each other. And the storytelling in it was fantastic. I love that Seth Rollins was doing his best impression of HBK from 97. In case you guys haven't seen Shawn Michaels referee Bret Hart versus Taker, SummerSlam 97, I recommend you go back and watch it. I think that might be the only match worth watching on that show. But basically this match was a throwback, was a callback to that. There was a spot in the match where I think Drew was going to hit Punk with a chair. Seth grabbed the chair and told Drew, you can't use the chair. And Drew, instead of spitting in Seth's face, like Bret spit in Shawn Michaels' face, he pie-faced him. Seth goes to swing the chair, and unfortunately, he didn't hit CM Punk. Well, fortunately for Punk, but unfortunately for those who like the callbacks, who love callbacks, Shawn Michaels ends up hitting Taker, which costs Taker the match and allowed Bret Hart to win the title. And Shawn counted reluctantly. Now, CM Punk does end up losing the match, but not that way. Punk ends up losing the match when he sees his bracelet, his love bracelet, around the wrist of Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins picked up the bracelet after Drew pulled it out to make fun of Punk. Punk pulled it off and almost lost the match as a result because he cared about the bracelet. But Seth Rollins picked it up, put it on his wrist. Now that was a mistake.
should have given it back to Punk, but he put it on his wrist. Punk sees it on his wrist, and instead of hitting the final blow on Drew, drops Drew, gets in the face of Seth, and they start arguing. Blind rage. You trying to mock me? Why you wearing my bracelet, bitch? Seth's like, bro, I just making sure that it's safe. I'm going to give it back to you later. Punk couldn't get a hold of himself. And then Seth gets angry and lets Punk know how he feels. This is my ring. This is my WWE. You don't belong here. Punk snaps, hits Seth Rollins with the GTS, which allowed Drew McIntyre to follow up with the Claymore kick. And since Seth got attacked, he stopped. Let's just be honest. He didn't want to count for Drew, but at that point, he absolutely hated CM Punk. So he didn't waste any time. He counted, though. 1, 2, 3. Ding, 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 ding. Drew McIntyre gets a much-needed victory over CM Punk. Drew McIntyre ends up defeating CM Punk. Wow. Punk's first singles match back since... Ooh, I'm going to date myself here. So the last time CM Punk wrestled a singles match in WWE was... Ooh! Okay, so he fought the Shield 3-on-1 at TLC 2013. Oh my goodness, when was the last time this man had a singles match in WWE? It had to be 2013, so 11 years ago. Literally 11 years ago. He comes back in his first singles match, and he loses. Wow. That's incredible. That's crazy. You know he's going to be pissed. And he's going to be pissed at both Drew and Seth Rollins. Because Drew, after beating Punk, grabbed the love bracelet once again and kissed it. And then he walked away. Ooh, he's daring Punk. He's daring Punk to really whoop that ass. I don't know. It's one of those feuds where I love it because I can't predict what's going to happen. I don't know what's next. And what I love about what they're doing with Drew and CM Punk, Punk and Drew have creative control. So no one knows what they're going to do except them. And that makes me very happy that they're in full control over what's going to happen. This is going to be a really, really exciting story. Now, we already know their next match has to be at Bad Blood. What that match is, I don't know. Might be Hell in a Cell. Drew and Punk, Hell in a Cell. What happens with Seth? Do you throw Seth in there? Do we make it a triple threat Hell in a Cell? We'll have to see. All right, someone did the research. CM Punk's last singles match was against Billy Gunn, January 20th, 2014. Huh. I don't remember that match. I really don't remember that match. But okay. Was that on TV? Was that on TV? Let me know. But yes, I do think we're going to see Punk and Drew again at Bad Blood. Shoot, that might be the place we do Hell in a Cell. They might do a First Blood match. We'll see. They can take this to all kinds of new heights, and I'm excited about that. But man, like, I would imagine, this is just my opinion, I would imagine that whatever they do next is going to be absolutely crazy. It's going to be absolutely nuts. This is just the beginning of what's to be a series of bonkers, bangers, insane matches involving Seth, Drew, and Punk. And I'm excited to see what they do with it. Moving on. World Heavyweight Championship match. Damian Priest taking on Gunther. Nah, 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 nah. Damian Priest has been trying to prove to the world that he is a legit champion. That he is someone that should be taken seriously as a main event player, as a world champion. Kind of hard to do that when you cashed in with Money in the Bank. And he's been winning his matches with the help of the Judgment Day. And so he's been trying to prove himself. What better way to prove yourself than by beating Gunther? Now, I thought this match from a match standpoint was fantastic. They were beating the living hell out of each other. Gunther's chest was bleeding. I'm not making this up. Damian Priest used to do MMA, by the way. So when he was hitting Gunther, he was actually hitting him with actual MMA kicks, elbows, punches, chops. He busted Gunther's chest wide open, and it was leaking blood, bleeding profusely. Gunther was out. He got his ass handed to him. Now, he gave it back to Damian Priest. Damian Priest didn't necessarily come out unscathed. He took a beating himself. Definitely later on in the match. But Gunther's chest was purple. Not red, purple. Because of how badly he got his ass whooped by Damian Priest. That's insane. One of the stiffest matches I've ever seen at a SummerSlam. I did not think it would be this good. And it was freaking awesome. It opened my eyes. Well, that's a lie. Because I always thought Damian Priest was a great worker. I remember his match with Bad Bunny last year. That was the first time I went, Damian Priest is a main event player. This is just confirming it. Damian's really good. And as a result of what happened, I'm ready to see him climb even higher as a main event player. So towards the end of the match, Gunther is just beating the piss out of Gunther. He's beating the piss out of himself. Sorry. Gunther's just beating the piss out of Damian Priest. And out comes Finn Balor. And you're thinking, okay, well, clearly, Finn Balor is going to help him, right? Sure, he's going to help him. And he's cheering him on. Hey, guys. Get behind my guy. Get behind my guy. Gunther sees him, attacks Finn Balor. Damian Priest gets angry. Don't you touch my friend! Goes Super Saiyan. Completely annihilates Gunther. Hits him with the Razor's Edge. And it looks like he's going to pin Gunther. He rolls Gunther to the ropes. As soon as he rolled Gunther to the ropes, I said, well, clearly Finn Balor is going to help Gunther retain. Because why would you roll him close to the ropes? At the very least, what I would have done to make that spot better, just a nitpick, I would have had him pin Gunther in the middle and then have Finn Balor pull out the referee. That's different. That's what I would have done. But that's not what they did. Finn Balor put Gunther's leg on the ropes. And that just felt weird to me. Because Gunther attacked him. And then he's going to help Gunther win? I don't know. But he put his leg on the ropes. And then Finn, with a smile on his face, a Cheshire grin, watches as Gunther chokes out, puts Damian Priest to sleep. Damian tries to fight, but to no avail. Gunther makes the champ pass out and walks out. Your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. As we all predicted, Gunther is your new champ. Gunther now holds the belt. This is the 5th championship title change in the night. And not only does Damian Priest lose the world title, but he also lost his best friend. And potentially the group. So tomorrow night, not tomorrow night, it's Saturday. This upcoming Monday, I cannot wait to see the fallout. Oh my God, the fallout to all of this. The fallout to Rhea Ripley. And of course, Liv Morgan with Dom joining Liv. The fallout to Finn Balor attacking Damian Priest. And the fallout to CM Punk, Drew, and Seth Rollins. We can't miss Monday Night Raw. We can't miss it. This was an awesome match. Don't sleep on this match. This was great. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, The main event of the evening, Cody Rhodes defends his WWE Championship against Solo Sikoa, the Timu Tribal Chief, the Scar of the Bloodline. The match was... I said in my preview and predictions that this was the match I was least looking forward to. Not just because of the people in it. I didn't think it was going to be all that interesting, and it wasn't. It wasn't until, as you can imagine, the Bloodline interfered. Then it got good. But for the most part, when it was just one-on-one, I was like, all right, let's pick this up. Let's put me to sleep. At least with Cody and Roman at WrestleMania, because they went a while too before the Bloodline interfered. They at least had good enough chemistry to where I was intrigued and thought the match was good. I thought the WrestleMania 39 match overall was the better match, but they were at least able to keep me interested. The reason why Solo and Cody don't work is because, first off, Cody has beaten Solo so many times, it doesn't really have that much intrigue. Doesn't really have that much intrigue for me. But regardless of that, I don't buy Solo as a main event player. So I already knew that the only way he was going to beat Cody was with help. So I was just sitting here like, okay, well, I don't expect much to happen until the Bloodline comes out. But guess what? Eventually they did. The Gorillas, ain't nobody realer than Gorilla, came out. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, they come out, and they start attacking Cody. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton come out to make the save, run them off. And then eventually Jacob Fatu decides to come out. Now Jacob Fatu, this is where the crazy spot happens. Cody Rhodes is going to basically annihilate Solo with numerous crossroads. Jacob comes out, rams through Cody, does an amazing Whisper in the Wind, and then a BME, best moonsault ever. Looked pretty as hell. And then does that crazy dive. That crazy dive from the outside, from the inside of the ring, to the outside, splashing Cody Rhodes through a table. Now, on that spot where he dove to the outside to splash Cody Rhodes through the table, he hit his shin. He hit his shin on the outside, and he was crying in pain. And we were all scared that he got hurt. Even I was like, oh man, I think he might have hurt himself. Now, unfortunately, I don't know what the details are on that particular spot yet. He might be injured, he might not. But as of right now, Triple H did give us an update. He said that he's banged up, and we don't know if he's hurt, but he's hoping that he'll be okay. So we probably won't know about it until later on this week. But he had trouble standing. But it didn't really matter. Because Solo drags Cody inside the ring and then goes to spike him with the Samoan spike. Next thing you know, Roman Reigns. The Tribal Chief music hits. Roman comes out. The crowd, 60,000, 57,000 in attendance, lost their minds. The pop of a lifetime for Roman Reigns. I thought this was excellent. This was a pop. This was fan-effing-tastic. Roman came out looking like a boss, wearing that OTC Original Tribal Chief t-shirt, which is now selling out as we speak. If you haven't got one, you're probably not going to get one. By the way, if you buy you an OTC t-shirt, get it from this stream. Buy the OTC t-shirt from this stream because I get a percentage of it. Roman Reigns comes out like the hero that he is, gets inside the ring, goes absolutely crazy on Solo. Superman punch, gives him that ooh ah, and hits him with a spear. And then he turns to Cody. And then he gives Cody the nod of respect. and then he walks away. He acknowledged Cody Rhodes. Cody picks up the scraps, pulls Solo up, hits him with a crossroads, and pins a 1-2-3. Roman Reigns has cost Solo the match. He is back. Your tribal chief has come back to reclaim his throne at the top. You love to see it. Loved it. Loved it. Again, the first half of the match wasn't doing it for me. That ending, though, the last half, listen to me. If you would have told me 10 years ago that I would be losing my mind and be happy to see Roman Reigns back inside the ring 10 years later, I would have called you crazy. The incredible transformation this man has made in the last 10 years. My goodness. I am so happy that he is finally getting his flowers. Roman Reigns deserves everything coming his way. This is the beginning. We are just getting started with Roman Reigns on top. This, my friends, is the beginning of the build to the main event of SummerSlam. Excuse me. Not SummerSlam. The main event. Yeah, next year's SummerSlam. The main event of WrestleMania 41. Because we already know that Survivor Series this year, Vancouver, will be War Games. It's got to be Roman's bloodline versus Solo's bloodline. You know that's going to be the match they do. So I'm excited about that. Will The Rock be involved? I heard a rumor. Little Birdie told me that The Rock will be at Survivor Series, and that's when we get The Rock versus Cody Rhodes. We're going to get Rock versus Cody Rhodes at Survivor Series, so then we can build to Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania. So I'm excited about that one. Definitely a match to look forward to. In Vancouver, Rock versus Cody? Man. That's going to be a wild... That is going to be a wild Survivor Series if they do Rock and Cody and then War Games. Man. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that. But that's Survivor Series and WrestleMania. Right now, Cody is your new champ. And of course, Roman is back. We'll have to watch SmackDown to see where they go from here. We have to watch SmackDown to see where they go from here. Bruh. Yo! It's crazy that coming out of SummerSlam, you would think that, alright, well, this is another cooldown period, right? Because that's how it usually is. WrestleMania comes, then there's a cooldown period, then SummerSlam happens, then there's a cooldown period, and then Survivor Series, and then cooldown. There's like 3 different cooldown periods throughout the year. The one after WrestleMania, the one after SummerSlam, and then the one after Survivor Series. It doesn't feel like we're slowing down. It actually feels like we're picking shit up following SummerSlam. This feels like a jumping off point. Not the conclusion of storylines, but the beginning or the continuation of storylines leading into Survivor Series, Bad Blood. I'm assuming Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. We have a long road ahead of us. And I think things are just picking up. I'm excited. I am excited, ladies and gentlemen, for what's to come for WWE. And this is why they're selling out the arenas. They're selling out the stadiums. Because they understand what draws people are the stories. But when you give us great matches along with the strong characters and then the stories, the engaging stories, you can't get any better than that. WWE is on fire. This year alone, every pay-per-view they've had has been good to great to awesome. This is another one. Another good pay-per-view. A good SummerSlam. Let's be real. We don't get a lot of those. There hasn't been a lot of good to great SummerSlams. This is up there. And again, I don't know if it's in the top 10, but I feel like it's gotta be somewhere close to it. Because the first SummerSlam was 1988, right? That's about, let me see, 36 SummerSlams, 35, 36 SummerSlams, right? Yeah, I think I'm safe in saying, I'm gonna just keep my first thought when I first thought about this. I think we're safe in saying that this is easily one of the best SummerSlams. It's up there. It's definitely up there. But we'll have to go back and see. Some of you might have to do some research on it for me. And you let me know where this ranks. But regardless, that's SummerSlam, y'all. All right, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Thank you all so much for this amazing stream for SummerSlam. As you follow up, do all the YouTube things, like the video, subscribe, and click that button to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and Venmo. I love you all. You guys are amazing. What a stream. What a SummerSlam. We're going to be doing a lot more here in Alyx's world. A place that is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I love you all. Please be kind to yourselves, and I'll catch you guys next time.